Hi everybody, hi every spirit, welcome very much to my YouTube channel. Esoteric Cloud Surfer here, ready to start a spirituality and astrology live stream. Thank you very much for watching once again. Use the links down below to reach more of my content, to know about my services, and to know how to contact me. So hold on a second here. There we go, way better. So today we're talking about the Sun in Aries and the Moon in Aquarius. So a very unique energy and a very prosperous environment internally and externally to feel and act about your uniqueness, your individuality, and your ability to perceive reality either internally and externally in your own perspective, in your own way, right? No matter what is being said, what is being acted around you, no matter how you acted before, it doesn't matter how you thought before, you only gonna really realize and care about something that was really from you, that was really out of your individuality, out of your creativity. Or if you or somebody around you was not acting up in their own purpose, in their own individuality, you're gonna feel either frustrated or the need to separate either from past moments where you weren't being yourself or from certain people, places, and things that they are not themselves and they perturb your ability to be themselves, or they actually want you to not be yourself, or they don't, or they reward you for not being yourself, or they only reward you when you kind of show them that you can hide your true self to look better to others, or any those complicated social interactions where you're being too much. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're being yourself, you're not being too much, right? So, and how is this happening? First, our internal realm is in fixed air, Aquarius. So we are reacting and responding to more fixed, consistent, logical, intelligent, unique, and rebellious feelings, emotions, dreams, illusions, and the need to associate our feelings, privacy, and comfort to unique scenarios. Right? So if you are associated with something that is unique and consistent, if you are associated with something or somebody or an organization that they have the intention or actually have an impact in society, in your location, in the world, or if they have the potential to do so, you're gonna feel secure. You're gonna feel good. Even if you don't have anything to show, or the building process is still in the early ages, you're gonna feel good. You're gonna feel comfortable. You're gonna feel secure. You're gonna trust yourself. You're gonna trust your teammates. You're gonna trust the process and the purpose. Right now, if you are associated, connected with something that is not big, as in their intention and their purpose, if you are associated with something that is not unique or it does not have the ability to reach far and wide in terms of connection and ideas, you're going to feel a bit suffocated. You're going to feel a bit, what's the purpose? Why am I doing this, right? And depending on your alignments, right, if you have like a lot of earth alignments, if you have, for example, a Taurus moon today, and you are not connected with something that has potential or that can reach out into the world, you're gonna feel you still will feel comfortable if you have stability and security in your life, but you're gonna feel that could be something more, but you feel uncomfortable about it. For an example, you could expose yourself a bit more, you could show up a bit more, you could talk a bit more, or you could be associated with things that do that, right? So we are on a more logical, social, independent, and expansive. Expansive as in the act of expanding, not as in paying more money for it, right? And our actions, expressions, and visions are in cardinal fire. So we want to express, see, and act new, unique, passionate, aggressive, creative, individual, and spiritual things, actions, expressions. We want to be seen. We want to show others things that we think that are individual and unique, right? So when these two alignments come together, we have an opportunity to feel Moon in Aquarius more unique and consistent with our unique spiritual and creative new actions, expressions, and visions. The Sun in Aries. So if you are working on something that is unique, individual, your own business, your own projects, your own building up something on your own with your own values, your own ideas, and your own associations, you're going to feel very sophisticated, actually, very constructed, very calm today. Once again, even if you don't have anything to show, or if you are still in the early processes of whatever you are building, because you know and you feel the potential, and that if you work on it, on that potential and on yourself enough, it will grow into something that can support you and other people in your life. Supporting you as in monetarily and fulfilling your creative needs or your spiritual fulfillment, and supporting others as in being an example, being a place where they can relax and enjoy themselves, being a place where they can see somebody else being themselves, being a place where they can get inspired to be creative and themselves, being a place where they can get inspired or remember themselves to go after their dreams, illusions, and imaginations, for an example, or just support somebody in logistics, in finances, in astrology, tarot, in whatever, right? If you are working on something that can support yourself and others in different or the same ways, if it's unique and if it's spiritual for you, you're gonna feel calm, structured, and motivated, but not like super crazy out of the park, not super let's go and do everything today and achieve everything today. You're gonna feel more calm, consistent. You're gonna be feeling the process. You're gonna be more comfortable in taking extra steps and taking extra time, because also this comes with experience. It comes for you spending more time in your own projects and in your own businesses. But you know, or once you are in it for long enough, you know that sometimes it's better to take extra time and extra steps so things get well done, you get more experience, you get more comfortable, you get more sure, and then you can show others your value or the value of your product more and better. You can do things more consistently, you can do things for longer periods of time, you can maintain a high level of energy for a long period of time as well, if you take the necessary time to grow yourself and your business, right? And this goes for any business, right? It's not specific to a specific part of a business or a specific business in itself. If you are really interested, if you are into it, if you see the potential in it, if it allows yourself to be unique and individual and to create connections or a community around that, that's going to be your life, right? That's going to be your life. And in one way, you will not want to be retired, in a sense where like you don't pay more taxes and you receive the retirement money. Yes, right? But even you can be retired and still be counseling somebody. You get a mentor, you get a successor, and then you help them out. Yeah, you retired, but now you help them out getting into a similar business or to take over your business or something like that, because it's something that, like I said, if it's unique, if it's unique and allow yourself to be unique and individual, if you can create connections or associations that are on your range and wide and depth, and if it's something that is interesting to you and you can build something upon it, you will always want to be connected with it and be a part of it. And that's what everybody should be looking into work into, right? What else should it be then something that you are interested? You can create connections, you can expand yourself, you can be creative, you can be yourself, you can connect with other people, you can expand together. You know what I'm saying? And this can be every business can give you that if you are using it and being in it in the right way. It's like I have a video here on the channel saying that you can be any career, you can have any job, you can work in any place, because your natal chart will not tell you what is the best career, what is the best job. They will tell you what energies you need to experience and use in order to be spiritual fulfilled, and then you're gonna be the best in that area, right? Everybody can be whatever they want, but they have to pay attention to the things. One is like in that part of life, in that job, in that business, can you experience the energies that your natal chart is suggesting you, right? And can you expand on that, right? Because the goal is not just for you to be a worker in that space, it's just to expand and try to be the best in terms of like, you don't need to be the best as in number one, top of the top, but be one of the best, looking the best, doing the best, feeling the best. You know what I'm saying? In that specific business, right? So if that business, that ram of infrastructure, that ramification, that branch, that's what I meant, allows you to be yourself and you can succeed while being yourself, that's the best thing to be doing at the moment, right? So, for example, everybody can be a doctor, right? If they study and whatever, but not everybody will be doing their best as a doctor, because not everybody has the same energy and the same things they need to experience and fulfill in this lifetime, right? Or if everybody is a footballer, certain people will succeed better or will have more longevity in that business because they are experiencing what they're supposed to experience, and they're going through certain feelings and emotions and connections they want to, and that is fulfilling them spiritually, right? So with the moon in Aquarius, we can feel out what are the right associations, structures, organizations, right, to be a part of. And then with the sun in Aries, we can see and act individually and unique and in a unique way and creatively, and then see how those environments react. They support you, they bring some logic, they bring some consistency. Yes, good. They try to limit you, they try to block you, they try to suffocate you, they try to separate from you. Not good then, right? And in the end of the day, it's upon us to expand in our structure, because remember that Aquarius is also ruled by Uranus. So it's also about changing, rebelling, destroying the old, bringing, being, and creating the new. aka expansion, right? So can you do that in your current situation? Or is there potential in whatever you're doing right now to grow and expand, be unique, be rebellious, be different, and succeed, and have structure? Yes, awesome. If not, you need to create something else. You don't need to quit your job immediately. No, but you need to start thinking, imagining, putting some pieces together in order to go for something better where you can be yourself and expand and have structure and consistency, right? And once again, these actually alignments go very well into the topic that I usually speak about here in the live streams, which is today we also have the opportunity to feel more independent and wanting to detach from organizations and structures that do not relate to our personal interests or insecurities, right? For example, lately, I've been exposed to this a while ago, but today I was exposed to that again, which was people complaining, especially in North America, complaining about living conditions. Everything is more expensive and whatnot. And the Gen Z is blaming the boomers because they ruined the economy and whatnot. And in the comments of the video that I watched, some people were saying it was not the boomers, it's not the Gen Z, it's the government. Well, it's not the government like in the more external side of it, right? But it's the goal, right, of a certain part of the government is to keep people that are not unique and individual and that don't want to be a part of their type of business to have an easy life, right? So what's happening is when the boomers were like young, they were receiving a certain amount, but the cost of living was not in terms of numbers, but in terms of what they could do with it was the same. Maybe they had a little bit more breathing room, but it was basically the same. Like they couldn't, with a minimum wage, buy a house or and a car and have a family. Like they, when they were starting in their 20s, in their early 30s, right? And people nowadays think, the young generations think that they could. No, these things escalate. So when the time goes on, even if you make more money in the future, things are more expensive. But back in the day, things were less expensive, but people were also receiving less money, right? So, and this is made on purpose, right? Because whoever is behind the curtains or whatever, without being in a conspiracy theory, but like we have not to stop thinking about as a conspiracy theory and start to understand that this is reality, right? Prices going up, taxes going up, wages not going up, cost of living going up. Like, I'm not the one making these decisions. You are not the one making these decisions. There is somebody else away from your perspective that you don't know making these decisions, right? So it is somebody behind the curtains, the shadow government. They are in the shadows, you don't know them, and they use the desires and the shadows of people to get away with stuff, right? So it's not a conspiracy theory anymore. Can we agree on that? Because it's important to realize our enemies, because they are not our enemies, they're just doing their own stuff. They're just doing for their interests and people are going along, right? It's as simple as that. They're doing their own business and people go along with their business. Because they're not actively harming people, they're not actively destroying business and shit, right? What is happening, or what happened in the past, was people did not create their own system. They didn't came up with their own businesses, as in not the business itself, but the way of doing business. They always relied on what was already there. They always relied on systems created by the government or by organizations affiliated with them. And then what happens is this: you keep using their system, you keep using their template, and they can manipulate prices, right? Now these prices are more expensive because there is a war over there, because there is here, this over here, and you ultimately are not in control, right? So, but as well, good news is we are entering the age of Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius, 1 degree. So what can happen, like I usually say, that there will be more celebrities, but there will be less worldwide. There will be more community focused. So there will be more celebrities, but they'll have less impact in the world. But what will happen is the members of the celebrities community will feel more in touch with that celebrity, and they will feel more heard, and they will feel that they participate more into that celebrity, into that environment, right? And the same thing can happen with business, right? How so? So there is now a great opportunity to create business around a unique idea, a unique way to communicate, a unique way to socialize, a unique way to have structure, responsibility, and consistency in our life. So there is now the opportunity, and there will be for a long time, because Pluto will spend a lot of time in Aquarius, to so there will be more opportunities for smaller businesses to be successful, right? But I'm not talking about billions of dollars, maybe not even millions. But if more people have their own businesses, instead of these huge corporations, we have more but smaller corporations, everybody will be more profitable, and there will be more control of the people over prices and whatever that is into business, right? Because right now these huge corporations, right, they can decide how, most of them don't pay really well, not great work conditions, and they can manipulate prices. For example, here in Portugal, since the war on Ukraine started, price of food and stuff went up because we imported cereals and some stuff from there, right? So what happened was the government reduced the taxes. They got away. They took a certain tax from bread, meat, and stuff like that. And so what happened? Those companies, because you have like one or two major companies that own the supermarkets in Portugal, they have record high profit, but the payment for the employees is the same. And that is what we want to avoid, is to have more people owned companies and supermarket chains and whatever. So then, instead of these companies getting their highest profits ever or in 10 years, instead of them going and using that money for whatever reason, the people pay themselves. So imagine the people owned that supermarket chain, or there was more supermarket chains instead of just one or two or three, like there was more, right? There was more. So when the government would release the taxes, everybody else will be making a bit more money. So not just one or two corporations, everybody or more people. So then there will be more choices because there will be more groups making that choice. And sure, some group of people, some organization will still be kind of greedy with it. But if a people owned supermarket, for an example, would have the taxes removed from their certain products, that extra money, you better believe it, will go to the people working there. Because the owners will be also working class people and they want more money for them and for their workers too. So you see the point? The point is, with less, with smaller corporations, there is more humanity, there is more connection. Because actually, I was reading in Reddit about that situation in Portugal, and there was a comment that said those corporations are so big that there is the loss of humanity, and the money and the processes get lost in departments and bureaucracies. And it actually makes a lot of sense. So with Pluto in Aquarius, what can happen if people want to do it, and if people have the courage to do it, what will happen is there will be more supermarkets, more stores, more stuff owned by smaller groups of people. And because it's a smaller group of people, not it's easier to manage, and it's easier to maintain things in the house. It's easier to maintain a certain level of humanity. So and when there is more money available, that goes back to the people that work there instead of, I don't know. We have no idea where the money go. Where like there is this supermarket chains right in Portugal, they got more profit than in the last 10 years. People, the workers, they have no idea where that money went. It didn't went for them. You better believe it, right? But it should, because that was the intention of, or at least that's what they said. That was the intention of the government to relieve these companies so they can pay more to the workers, and so people don't pay as much money. But actually, in some supermarkets, they okay, we don't have IVA, which is the tax that was relieved, but certain products got their price a little bit hyped. So the price was, it's lower on those products, but it's not a huge difference because those companies, they up the price a little bit, right? So people are almost paying the same price as before the tax went out. So not only are those companies not paying that tax, they're also receiving a bit more money from the people, and people feel okay because they are paying less money for the products, but they could be paying way less, right? So because it's not the boomers, coming back to my point, it's not the boomers, it's not the Gen Z. It's like there is an external element outside of people, because when we talk about the government and shit, they are not normal people. They don't have your problems, right? And they don't pay certain taxes, right? They don't need to worry about certain life conditions. You know what I'm saying? They don't need to go through certain situations that you do to get a job or to buy a house, right? They just have a different life and a different perspective than most people, right? So, first, you can't expect them to give a shit about your problems, because they will not. And you can't expect them to fix things for you, right? Because they don't give a fuck about the country, right? They don't give a fuck about helping the people. They just want to keep the country running because that's their profit, that's their job. That's how you imagine you work in a factory and the factory closes. You're gonna be worried about it. You're gonna be stressing a little bit because that's where you work. You don't really care about the factory, right? You don't give a fuck. If you can get another job, fine. That's how they see the country. Not every, but most governments work like that. Okay, if the country closes, if the country becomes non-profitable, they get a bit worried and a bit stressed because that's where they get their bread from, right? But they don't really want to help the people in the country. You know what I'm saying? So also with Pluto in Aquarius, there is the opportunity for people to take power and control over their lives, organizations, and institutions, right? Because there was really a lack of business or individuality and creativity on these upcoming years, right? And there is too few people in control of the prices and the markets, right? So it's time for people to stand up and start to create their own systems, start to create their own ways of living and having profit and helping out each other, because the governments will not do so. Otherwise, the price of living wouldn't be so high right now. Otherwise, for example, I've been exposed to this a lot, like how people in the United States of America are really pissed at the government because they're sending billions of dollars to the war in Ukraine instead of helping their own people, because they don't want to help their own people. You know what I'm saying? So, and where is this all coming from? From Moon in Aquarius, feeling sure and more structured in your uniqueness and individuality, so then you can act in new creative, individual, and spiritual ways. You know what I'm saying? And actually, coming back to Pluto in Aquarius, the internet or skills that deal with talking and helping others, creating a stronger mind, or just entertainment, they will be the next, or it's already the next business opportunity, right? And there will be a space for everybody to have their own YouTube channel or to have their online store, and that is already happening. But you, if you're not in that yet, there is still time for you to go and do it. All right. So let's go into today's astrology and tarot. Let's take a tarot reading, a tarot card for today. Sun in Aries, Moon in Aquarius. Moon is it will still be in Aquarius for 32 hours, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, for more 32 hours. Because the moon is now in 24 degrees. So 16 degrees to go until 30. And the moon moves 1 degree every 2 hours. So 32 hours. And then the moon will move into Pisces. And we're almost in a new moon in Aries. Right? So right now it's normal to feel a bit more calm, with a bit less energy. You can even be getting a little bit sick right now because we are starting to release, to get empty, to get less active, less polluted in the mind, because there is the yin and yang, right? It's good because you're getting less energy, or it's good because you're getting clear, but it's bad because you're getting less energy. It's good because you're starting to detach. It's bad because maybe you were comfortable on some things that you were attached to, right? So, Sun in Aries, Moon in Aquarius. What is the tarot card for today? There we go. 10 of Wands. All right. So a lot of fire, a lot of imagination, a lot of individuality, creativity, spirituality, independence, power, strength. So if you are a weak spirit or you have a weak mind, you can feel too much burden, too much power, too much intensity, too much frustration, too much imagination, or too much aggressiveness. If you're a strong spirit, you'll see opportunities. You'll see extra motivation, or you can see structure in places where you were seeing just randomness before. Or you can see more clearly and with more consistency your imaginations, visions, and creative talents and gifts. All right? Yeah, that's good energy. That's good energy. So let's go for the moon reading, guys, real quick. Moon in Aquarius, it's really about feeling unique, feeling consistent in your own way to think, communicate, and analyze, feeling consistent, unique, and light in your associations, relationships, and business, right? So let's get into it. Ooh, got some air. Moon in Aquarius, sextiling the Sun in Aries, an opportunity to feel more consistent, more light, and more realistic about your unique actions, expressions, and visions. Moon in Aquarius, sextiling Mercury retrograde in Aries, an opportunity to feel more consistent, unique, and realistic about past ideas, thoughts, and conversations that dealt with spirituality, aggressiveness, frustration, passion, or motivation, or feeling more cringe about moments where you weren't really able to use your logical faculties because you were too passionate or too angry or insecure. Moon in Aries, fatal Moon in Aquarius, fatal attracting Venus in Pisces, feeling more dry, consistent, stubborn, individual, or stuck, about deep relationships, exalted love, and spiritual connections, or just relationships that are in dreams, illusions, imaginations, or la la land. Moon in Aquarius, fatal attracting Mars in Pisces, feeling more dry, more consistent, more unique, more sure or stubborn about spiritual passions, or romantic, self destructing, or super inspired passion, motivation, anger, and frustration, and feeling more comfortable in communicating and making sense out of your spiritual passions, creativity, and personal projects or businesses that you are involved into. Moon in Aquarius squaring Jupiter in Taurus, learning how to feel more unique, more light, and less shameful about how or what are you expanding, and obtaining wisdom and knowledge when it deals to being fixed, consistent, and realistic in obtaining profit, security, safety, and validation in your life. Moon in Aquarius fatal attracting Saturn in Pisces, feeling more real, more light, and more clear about spiritual networking, about the reality, behind about the purpose and the meaning behind reality and physicality, or feeling stubborn and sure about some insecurity, illusion, and la la land that you are a part or seeing or reacting to in reality. Moon in Aquarius squaring Uranus and Taurus, learning how to be more light, how to associate in a more emotional and deep way with or about unique and rebellious scenarios that deal with change in fixed, realistic, and more dry and private circumstances that deal with obtaining security, or more with maintaining security, safety, and practicality in your life. Moon in Aquarius, fatal attracting Neptune in Pisces, feeling more logical, more sure, or more stuck about grand dreams, illusions, and imaginations. And lastly but not least, Moon in Aquarius, conjuncting Pluto in Aquarius, feeling the transformation, feeling scared if you're not ready and you're not being working towards transforming your life in a grand scale, or feeling more sure, feeling more ready, and feeling like shit, it's going on if you are already working into a unique community, a unique circumstance and stability where you can be yourself, speak and think like yourself, and obtain peers and stability, profit, and spiritual fulfillment out of those situations. All right, y'all? So, before we leave, just to focus the square between the moon, Jupiter, and Uranus, Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus. So, that's actually very un-Taurus like, because Jupiter is about expansion, traveling, wisdom, knowledge, spirituality, imaginations, and creativity. And Uranus is about change, rebelliousness, being unique. And Taurus is about being fixed, being more realistic, statistics, facts, and being sure. So Jupiter in Taurus are already bringing more instability, but expansion, unpredictability, inspiration, spirituality, creativity, and imagination to our stability, our practicality, and how we make sense in a fixed way about our lives, right? And with the moon in Aquarius right now, we can feel a bit more disconnected, a bit more detached, or a bit more weird about those things and how we get fixed support and sustainability in our lives. But we have to learn how to feel more unique, how to feel more changing, or accept the changes and be a part of those changes in those areas in your life. And what areas are those? Areas where you obtain security, you feel safe, you feel supported, you feel love, you feel you can continue doing something and be rewarded from it and feel pleasure from it, right? So the Buddha in Aquarius is bringing us those feelings of change, uniqueness, weirdness, rebelliousness, and connecting to a community. And then those alignments in Taurus, we have to learn how to communicate in weird, unique ways in order to expand our physical circumstances, in order to change our physical circumstances into more charged, into more unique, into more bringing our dreams and illusions into reality way, into more making God's work in reality, in a fixed and consistent way. That having that spark of imagination and making it real, having that spark, that wisdom and knowledge, and make a business out of it, making some profit out of it. So we're taking that and we're learning how to speak and feel more comfortable in doing that in a unique way. Feeling more comfortable in being a part or of a new, unproven to work circumstance, but you see the potential, you see and feel the uniqueness and individuality in that circumstance, organization, or situation. So you expand and change on that circumstance in order to obtain security, safety, and privacy, while you can be yourself, while there is connection to all possibilities, and you can connect with others that also are connected to all possibilities, and that you and them have your own way to think, communicate, analyze, and have unique circumstances in your life. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, thank you very much for watching. Use the links down below to reach more of my content, to book services with me, and I wish you the best thoughts, ideas, feelings, and emotions, a whole bunch of individuality, creativity, and responsibility as well. Always remember to believe in yourself, to believe in all possibilities, and that the best way to be is to be your goddamn self. Until the next time, as a Cloud Surfer, surfing out. See you soon.